Hello everyone and welcome to BrickCats. My channel is for anyone who enjoys custom LEGO creations, likes saving money, and or those looking to get into custom building. If you're a fan of my channel or are interested in supporting what I do, please consider liking this review, subscribing, or leaving a comment. Each like, subscription, and comment helps others find my channel, and I greatly appreciate your support. Today I'm reviewing designer LukeMocs Imperial TIE Fighter, available for $15 on OpenStuds. Without any substitutions, I was getting 4 stores and $144 without shipping and tax, or about $178 with shipping and tax. In my reviews, I offer my opinions on aesthetics and model features, parts issues you might want to look out for, the build experience, the model's integrity, and I close out with my overall impression and pricing information in the conclusion. If you're watching this review, I assume you bought the instructions or are interested in buying them. I also assume a basic level of familiarity with Brickling's ordering system and LEGO nomenclature. I only use genuine LEGO bricks and I always purchase the instructions. I create these reviews for my own personal enjoyment and in the hopes that my advice will make your experience more enjoyable and or less expensive. This TIE Fighter model measures 8.25 inches front to back, 8 inches side to side, and just over 14.5 inches on the stand and 10.25 inches off the stand. The cockpit ball is, according to the designer, inspired by Jurek's TIE Fighter model. It's 8 studs wide and utilizes the 3x3 round corner bricks to achieve the spherical shape. It retains the old 6x6 printed top dish, and the ball looks very good to me. The cockpit fits a minifigure, but I do find it a little bit challenging to get one in there, and the control assembly that also holds on the cockpit windscreen is also a bit loose. It's not clear to me if this is a feature, as removing this assembly actually makes it easier to get the figure in. The chin cannons are a little blocky. This model was designed before the 1x1 round plate with clips, part 5264, came out in light bluish gray just recently, so that will be a logical part substitution once those are more widely available. I did try to substitute transparent 1x1 round plates with clips and it didn't look great. At the rear of the cockpit, the twin ion engines are represented with this newish plate round 1x2 half with 1 stud, part 1745 element. You could add trans red 1x1 round plates for some engine glow if you wanted to, but these look just fine the way they are to me. I like the inclusion of this little cutout shape in the back area here as well. There's nothing too special about the bottom of the fighter, which is a plain 6x6 dish piece that's part of the connection for the display stand. The pylons are compact and have some nice details on them, particularly the sword blade on the side. The core of the pylons are 2 plates stacked opposite and secured with the wing ends with some Technic and towards the cockpit ball with other pieces on mirrored brackets. If I had one minor criticism here, it's that I wish there was a logical way to get some more shaping right up against the wings, but to be fair, that little detail is very subtle in the first place. The wings are brick-built in several different sections, which kind of fold around the center hub assembly and lock in place with the old-style fingered hinges. Being brick-built, the wings have a uniform appearance on either side. There are a few gaps in the wings that aren't entirely covered up by the spokes of the wings. From most angles, they aren't very visible, but from others, you'll definitely notice them. The standout feature of the wings and this model in general for me is use of the train track pieces for the edges and the spokes. This is such a great use of this piece, and I love that it narrows the profile of the edge, which is also a nice cannon detail. TIE Fighters tend to be pretty stable just sitting on their wings, but I love that this one includes the stand, and it's a very cool stand at that. I think one of the first things I saw when this model popped up in my Instagram feed was this tire. Definitely a unique parts usage, and the slight angling of the model on the stand makes it look very dynamic. The stand holds the model at a nice height off your table, and in all black it isn't distracting either. Overall, this is an amazing looking TIE Fighter, and the train tracks on the wings make it stand out from all the other TIE models at similar scales that I'm aware of. LukeMocs TIE Fighter requires 148 elements and 1,151 pieces for the ship and the stand. The printed top dish, part 18675 PB01, is still one of my favorite printed elements of any kind, but unfortunately it's still rather expensive in the United States, although prices seem to have come down a bit. My search results usually gave me between $10 and $12, down from $15 or so 18 months ago, so that's progress I guess. You can switch it out for the plain version, part 18675 in light bluish gray. However, if you don't mind a somewhat less stable connection, you can substitute out the 6x6 top dish for the smaller and arguably more appropriately sized 4x4 dish, part 3960 PB051. For this, all you need is an extra 1x2 jumper plate, part 15573, so you can increase the quantity of light bluish gray jumpers from 48 to 49, remove 18675 PB01, and then remove the 3-arm skeleton bent with clips horizontal grip, part 93609. You put the dish and jumper combination right here, and while it doesn't click in place, there's enough friction that it's not loose. There's no hole to get the pilot through the top hatch anyway, so you're certainly not losing functionality. This is the solution I went with in my pricing research because I think it's the most realistic option for most people. It still looks really good, and it saves you a bunch of money. The cockpit windscreen specified was already the less expensive version, Part 18675 PB02. If you already have the dish that came with the TIE Interceptor, Part 18675 PB23, or the older frame and rivet variant, Part 18675 PB09, those will both work great. The last element I want to discuss are the 8-brick round corner 3x3x2 dome tops, Part 88293. Unfortunately, these aren't available from Pick-a-Brick at the time of this review, although they were available fairly recently. It's worth checking Pick-a-Brick to see if they come back, but unless they return, these will probably be the most expensive non-printed elements for the model at over $1 each. As usual, I use the Brick Hunter extension to check the entire parts list against the Pick-a-Brick inventory. I do have an affiliate link that gives me a small percentage of the value of your purchase, so thank you in advance if you choose to use it. Pick-a-Brick orders over $35 ship for free, and if you spend more than $14 in the bestseller or standard categories, the handling fees are waived. I'll go over those results in the conclusion. Instructions for this TIE Fighter and the stand are found in the same file. You build the stand first and then the fighter itself. In total, there are 245 steps. Each part of subassembly added in each step is outlined in bright green against a black background. For the steps involving mostly light bluish gray pieces, this was fine, but for me it was a little harder to see the steps involving a lot of black pieces, such as the wing assemblies. I would have preferred a lighter background, but it's obviously manageable. The build goes at a good pace, and you're adding a reasonable number of pieces in each step. In total, the build took me about 4 hours. While the build was straightforward, the designer does include some helpful notes of a number of steps to eliminate ambiguity. I always appreciate this as it makes the experience that much better. I only found one sequencing issue, and that was in step 153. The ring assembly you've already attached in step 134 gets in the way of the rear round corner bricks, so you effectively have to remove this before you get those bricks into place. Other than that, there were 2 instances of missing multiplier indicators. You need to build 2 of the subassemblies starting in step 168 and 4 of the wing subassemblies starting in step 199. Overall, the instructions for this model are very good, and this mock is suitable for intermediate level builders that have already done a custom model or 2. This model is decently sturdy and easy to hold exactly as you'd expect, something like this. I do detect a little bit of creaking in the wings when you roll it from side to side, and you can see a little bit of the wobble when I do this. I think this is in part due to the narrowness of the train track on the edge of the wings, but I don't worry about this model breaking apart by any means. I mentioned earlier the issue with the cockpit windscreen assembly coming off fairly easily, but I'm pretty sure this is purposeful to make it easier to get the pilot in place. Getting it on the stand is quite simple and the connection is very solid. Sometimes I find that taking it off the stand brings these 2 pieces with it, but they're easy to replace. And the stand itself is very sturdy, and the base is wide enough to prevent any detectable instability under normal conditions. There's a slight bias to tipping over this way. This model is not cap-proof, but if you're sticking this on a shelf, it will take significant movement to have it fall over. In my opinion, this is one of the best TIE Fighter models available right now. It's a good building experience, it's very sturdy, it comes with a unique display stand, and those train track elements really set it apart visually from other models in a really great way. Again, without any substitutions, I was getting 4 stores and $144 without shipping and tax, or about $178 with shipping and tax. With my substitutions, the price dropped to 4 stores and $130 without shipping and tax, or about $163 with shipping and tax. And then taking full advantage of Pick-a-Brick, my Pick-a-Brick total was $125. This includes tax but no shipping and handling. From Bricklink, the remaining elements I could get from 3 stores and $20 without shipping and tax, or about $40 with shipping and tax, for a total of $165. Instructions for this model cost $15 on OpenStuds, which is a new web store for instructions similar to Rebrickable and affiliated with BrickVault. There will be a link to where you can buy those in the description below. OpenStuds has a ton of other great models in addition to this one, and is shaping out to be a great place to buy instructions for custom models, even in the short time the marketplace has been available. Thanks as always for watching my review of LukeMocs Imperial TIE Fighter. If you built the model, you have something to share that I left out, or have a question about something I didn't cover, please leave your thoughts below in the comments. I'm very conscious that subscribers are earned and not deserved, so if you enjoy my content and want to see more, consider subscribing, leave the video a like or a comment, or follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Thank you, and I hope to see you back next time.